I always tell young ladies that I speak to whenever I'm doing like a school tour or anything, if you are in the line of modeling, pageantry, or just being a creative woman and want to get a platform, Miss South Africa is the platform for that. Obviously, we all have like that little wishy little thing that I hope I win.
Yeah. Why are you entering in the first place?
Yeah,
if
I
you
hope
don't
I
believe
become
that
the
you
next
can?
Miss South Africa.
Yeah.
But for me, I went there wanting a platform. The minute you have a platform to voice out whatever message that you have, it gets you into a relevant audience.
Hello and welcome to Business Done Right. My name is Eleve, and as you all know it, I am the people's favorite business coach. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get things first right. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. But if you feel like, I am not sure why you want me to subscribe, let me first check out this episode. Please do stay until the very end, but I guarantee you that you are going to subscribe. So also, why should you listen to this episode or this podcast overall? So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business coach, and I've been in the entrepreneurship space for about 10 years now. Somebody who has never been employed, I've never worked for anybody, I've just been on my own. And throughout these 10 years of building a business, trying so many things, some that have failed, some I've even forgotten, the ups, the downs, the lows. You know what it's like when you're starting your own thing from scratch. I believe that I've got a lot to share. I've lived through my own fair share of experiences. Sometimes I feel like I've lived 80 lives, right? So I want to share all that experience, the knowledge that I have garnered throughout my 10 years as an entrepreneur. And I also want to share raw, authentic stories of other entrepreneurs, other amazing people that are doing great things. And I want you to see a side of them that we don't normally see. And for you to listen to the podcast and say, oh, I'm not the only one going through that. Other people are also experiencing the same thing. I'm not unique. Also, if you're somebody saying, I'm also an entrepreneur, I'm building a business, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm struggling, what should I do? This is the podcast that will help you to develop and grow as an entrepreneur. And lastly, if you feel that you sometimes feel like you're not good enough, you doubt yourself, am I going to be successful? Will I achieve the things that I want to achieve? What do I need to do? All of us are not spared from those feelings and emotions. I've been where you are at, where I felt I'm not good enough, I am not going to succeed, but I am here to tell you that it is possible, and I want this podcast to show you that. All right, so getting into the crux of what we are talking about today. You know, some conversations don't even need topics. They don't need headings. They don't need headlines because you're just like, you know what? I'm going to speak with somebody who's so multifaceted. What should we talk about? What do I want to talk about, right? So I've got the amazing Nolo Nawaya in studio, right? And she's going to introduce herself because we don't do a good job at introducing other people. We introduce them based off what we read on TV, on media, on social media, but she knows herself better than I do. But Nolo is a dynamic media figure, right? Miss South Africa 2024 top finalist, founder of N Foundation. She's a model, a speaker, media practitioner, and someone deeply passionate about women empowerment, community upliftment, and personal development, right? And I can tell you, even when I was having a pre-conversation before this podcast, she was like, there's just something about women founders. And I knew that she's definitely passionate about women. Nolo?
Oh my God, that literally just takes the whole introduction out the window. I'm like, I cannot introduce myself better than that. Thank you.
Thank you. So please tell us about yourself, who you are, right? And I know normally when we ask people, who are you? They'll always tell us about their work, what they've done. But I want to know who Nolo is outside of this work and why everyone who's listening now should listen to you in this podcast.
Funny enough, I haven't answered that question in a long time. Like, who are you? Because sometimes what we do, we often literally introduce ourselves by the partners that we've married or the work that we do, but nobody really knows like just the inward of
Yeah.
things. So thank you so much for asking. Well, thank you for having me here, first of all.
Thank you for
so
coming.
Beautiful.
Thank
like
you.
It radiates who you are.
Thank you so much.
And it's literally just so inspiring. But who am I? Nolo is a bottle of good energy. I always say that if you could get a bottle of water here, that's literally me. I flow. I am...
Sure.
All that is. When you see a bottle of water, you literally see your thirst being quenched, right?
Sure.
That's literally me. I love good people. I love, taking care of people. I love working with people. That's who I am. And I just love being in spaces where, we as people can just exist for who we are and not have like, the little add-ons as like, hi, my name is Nolo. I'm a radio broadcaster. And all of a sudden, I'm like drawn to you because of what you said.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm just a lover of good people and a lover of life.
I can definitely agree to the fact that you are a bottle of energy because when you walked in studio, I think everyone's energy changed and, it was very
Sometimes
bubbly.
I feel like I do a little bit too much.
No, trust me.
Am I doing too much?
No, trust me, that's the kind of energy that everyone needs, right? And so I listened to a lot of experts, and there's this communication expert who said that when you meet somebody, instead of asking them, how are you? Right? Or what is it that you do? Because normally that's what you ask when you meet somebody for the first time. Don't ask that anymore. To spark conversation and to see what really makes this person come alive.
Right.
Rather ask them, what interesting thing are you working on or projects that you're working on?
And that actually gets the conversation going, right? Because you could find that like you're probably doing the same thing or you're probably interested in that thing that they're doing. Yeah. What am I currently working on? What am I currently busy with? Well, I've just ventured into being a businesswoman, female founder. Well, I've tried business a long time ago. I'm from a family of, business owners. We pride ourselves in making sure that we start something from absolutely nothing and nurture it. But I've always thought that I'm such an academic. And then as time went by, I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not such an academic. I'm more of a creative person. So what I'm currently working on is literally my creative ventures, my magazine and my management company, which is all for women, by women, because that's literally what I believe in. And this has been an idea that has been, at the back of my head for like such a long time. But now it's finally come to fruition and I'm kind of getting into execution mode. And I'm like, you know what? Let me get up and actually do like
what's on your head,
what's in my head, what's on my mind. Like, there's a lot of times that we just dream about, doing a podcast, for example, but you can't literally just get out of your way and say, okay, cool. Today I'm going to shoot Nolo. I'm going to do this and this.
Yeah.
So that's the current stage that I'm at. Like I'm literally just pouring all that I am into the digital magazine and of course the management company.
Sure. I want you to tell me more about the digital magazine and the management business.
Right. So when it came about, like I was just having a conversation with my husband firstly, because I'm a brand strategist, right? So I've been working in politics. I've been trying to get into back to the 9 to 5 kind of feel, but it was not resonating with me. And I was like to him, can I do something? Because he's also like in the brand space. I was like, let's do something that will probably connect to the both of us. And the first idea that came about was low-key brand agency.
Okay.
I had the whole thing. I did the whole thing, the logo, the structure, the business plan. And then as time went by, it was just not working. I was like, okay, cool. But still at the back of my head, there was still something that was saying like, start your own thing, do your own thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think when I had a conversation with one of the women that I manage, I was like, you know what? I would like to take your career to the next level. But in terms of just branding and, putting yourself out there, and just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I was like, but what would I call it? And then I went back to the drawing board, even though I had the vision and mission. I was like, okay, cool. Since I'm already trying to work towards the magazine, which is for women. Why not just use that same vision and mission and goal into the management company? So it's Eleve. The French call it Eleve.
Look, you look like you would name everything in a French language. Because it sounds delicious. French is one of the languages that...
Yeah, it sounds very je ne sais quoi.
Right,
It's got the thing. I'm loving this. Let's all be fabulous, And I was like, okay, cool. It's Eleve, but I would like to call it Eleve, like towards the English meaning. So Eleve literally means, to elevate something or to put something in a high regard. So like up there, I was like, I want to put people's businesses up there. Sure. And I want to put myself up there as well. And that's literally how it came about, Eleve. And I was like, I'm going to focus this only on women because I feel like there's such a huge gap in, especially artist management. There's so many women who are capable of doing anything and everything. But you know what? I don't believe in you can carry everything on your own. You can do it all on your own. It takes a village to raise anybody. It takes, this entire thing to be what it is. And it takes different people. So I was like, you know what? Focus on your creativity and your artistry, and I'll focus on talking the business.
Sure. That's very powerful. I like that because I've got an experience, and I tell this story all the time, right? Because this podcast has been my biggest project up to date. I started my podcast in 2017. I had this big dream that I wanted to be a podcaster. And people would say, start with what you have. So I'll start with my phone. But there was just that thing that's
missing.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit how I want.
True.
And this podcast is possible because of the amazing people that I'm with now that are helping to put it together. Because imagine if I had to worry about the setup and then the recording after and then do you get what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. I think entrepreneurs need managers.
You need, there's a whole structure. You know what I mean? Even though you can do everything on your own, but there's somebody that knows books better than you do.
Yes.
There's someone who knows admin better than you do. There's someone who can literally do the smallest of things that you're not even thinking about. And I think a lot of us are so selfish when we start our own thing. We just want to protect it, understandably so, because that's your little baby. You want to nurture it. But in your nurturing, you don't have to suffer. Like you can bring people on board and literally make sure that your structure is solid so that you don't have everything on your head and you crash. You literally have a moment of crashing because you are overwhelmed by the work that you do. Literally.
And you find yourself quitting or stopping not because it's not brilliant, but because you just took on so much by yourself and you wanted to bring this baby alive by yourself before you know what you like.
Absolutely.
And what has been the biggest mental battles that you had to jump or get out of to start what you started?
A lot.
Yeah.
Am I meant to be in the space? Do I really want to do this? Is it suitable for my personality? Especially when you're getting into a new place or space, there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of us are afraid of, just stepping into that because you don't know. There's new people in this industry that you've never met before that are already 10 years down the line doing this thing and you've just started. So those were some of the things that I just kept not believing in myself, really just telling myself that this is not the space that I'm supposed to be in because I'm a very much on-screen kind of person. I love making sure that people are entertained, speaking, but I was not sure if going behind the scenes, I mean, it's what I studied anyway, but is it really who I am? So I was just like, man, I love having uncomfortable conversations. I don't easily get angered or very unhappy about something. So I thought once I had reeled it in and I was like, you know what? This is now the time for you to step into it. That's when I told myself, it's fine. Just try.
Go for it. And I know working that kind of mindset to say, I don't belong in this space. Am I cut out for it? getting out of that mindset, you wouldn't be able to do it by yourself.
Absolutely.
We hear a lot that you need a support system.
Absolutely.
Right? So what kind of support system have you had?
First of all, I am such an emotional person.
I can imagine.
I cry about everything.
Yeah.
I cry about every single little thing. If something is not going my way, I'm probably going to cry about it. And thank God, every day I thank God for having what I have right now, or having the dreams that I have right now when I am in a stable relationship, in marriage,
I can
basically.
imagine.
Right? Because I don't think that if this found me 5 years ago when I was still on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah. The girl that you thought you were.
The girl that I thought I was, I'll probably still have the same kind of drive or resilience, or, any sort of thing that's keeping me going in doing what I'm doing. Because honestly, my parents are great, but as you grow and evolve, you need a certain kind of structure. And I think my husband is that for me. He's like, he literally can just be like, okay, cool. You have an idea. Let's write it down. When do you want to see this being achieved? What are you doing to work towards that goal being achieved? So those are some of the conversations that, I needed to have. And if I was still having those conversations with my parents, it will probably be like, yeah, we support you, but go girl.
Yeah.
And it's like
I'm going,
okay,
but what am I doing?
Yeah, you're going, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any, what can I say? Any sort of solid, any solid structure to it, I was still kind of very much flexible because, my parents can provide for me, you know what I mean? So once I got out of that nest and literally did my own thing and I found my husband, thankfully he's someone that can see things from an outer perspective and say, okay, cool, I get that you have the idea, but what are you going to do about it? Yeah, so that's the sort of structure that, he's kind of built around me so that I can succeed. Yeah. And of course, my parents play a huge role in everything that I'm doing. Yeah. Just, when I crash out a little bit,
Mommy,
Dad, what's happening? My brother and my aunts, but my husband is someone that's very business minded, and if we want to do this today, you have to be on time. You have to do this way, and I kind of needed it. So
and that complements one so well, right? Do you think that then do we attract the kind of support system that we need, or do we have to be intentionally saying, I need someone like this? How did you, because we have people that have had partners that were not supportive of them, and we always hear that your support system, who you marry, who you become friends with,
it's so important.
It's so important.
But where are you going to get this person?
How do you know? How did you know to say, my husband, this is the one?
I have no idea, hey? I guess in some sort of way, I'm going to be referencing a lot to God. God knows exactly what you need at a specific time. Yeah. And I think my husband was made for such a time like this, where I'm evolving as a woman. I am becoming as a woman. I'm still literally 27 years old. Yeah. So ideally, I'm not at a place where I could be, having
I figured it all out.
I figured it all out kind of mindset. But he's kind of turning it to that, you have it figured out. You just need a solid structure. And I think that's what he preaches all the time, having a structure. I didn't know I would meet someone like that. Well, thank God I did, because I'm a dreamer. Yeah. And a person who dreams needs somebody that just gonna hey, let's do. You've dreamt about it for a long time. This is the vision. Let's execute now. And I think that's just literally how we balance life. He's the executor and I'm the dreamer. I'm you know
Love
what?
it.
We could start this app today. He's
let's
get on
I've
it.
got step one.
Let's do it.
I like that. And I'm just very curious also to get to understand more in depth what you do, and for others, and for them to understand how they can utilize that in whatever it is that they are building. So you doing brand management, if you were to manage my brand, what does it look like? So for people who don't understand what having a brand manager looks like.
Right. So a lot of times we all see ourselves with different visions and, there's a certain place that you would like to see yourself. It doesn't matter whether you are an entrepreneur, you're an artist, you are just a normal Nolo sitting at home. We all brands at the end of the day because who you are literally comes across as who you are because that's what you're giving to people out there. So my job is to literally put your vision to life. There's a lot of people that come to me and say, hey, Nolo, I want to be a superstar. I want to be a musician. Okay, cool. Where do we start? We need to start with a brand strategy. We need to see how we position you in the industry. Because a lot of times you might think that just because I'm a singer and songwriter, that's what I need to be giving people out there. But actually, you're probably just more of a songwriter than a singer. It just needs somebody with the right tools to get you to a place where your vision can come together. Like I said, it's more of a bottle of water kind of thing. We put it here. Now that bottle of water is empty all around. We don't see anything. We just see this liquid, this clear liquid. Now, how can we communicate to people that this is a bottle of water? Branding, we need to tell people that, oh, hey, this is Nolo water. It starts with the little things. We brand you in that certain way. And then now the ingredients come where we tell people that, oh, okay, cool. She's a singer and songwriter. She does Afro house or amapiano. Those are the ingredients so that people don't get you confused with juice when you are water. You know what I mean? So that's literally my job, to package you in a way that it's easy to understand, it's easy to explain, it's easy to consume, and it's easy for people to say, okay, cool, this is water, even though, it's saying, purely there, it's water. But that's my job as a brand manager, to make sure that you, as the contents of this water bottle, you are water and you're coming across as water. Because a lot of times we have a lot of people that are water, but they're putting themselves out there as bottles of wine. And you wonder why your brand is not reaching
I think
the
you're
heights.
talking to me. Maybe I'm water. I'm showing up as
wine, as tequila.
Oh my goodness. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think you're right, because I think we often need, because we as humans, we limit ourselves a lot. We are in our head too much. I can tell you it happens to me often where I'm like, it's just the podcast. It's just. And then maybe someone like you needs to come in.
True.
And show me a bigger part of me, what this could become that maybe I didn't think or imagine.
Absolutely.
So in essence, that's what you do. To say, if you know, this is not just
a podcast. And the first few minutes of how you just introed the show, for example, that literally tells me what Gifilo is about, what this podcast is about. And I have no business in seeing anyone else on this show just from that intro. I need to see people who are aligned with what she has introduced. And the things that they're going to be talking about or conversing on are things that she literally said in that 2 minutes. It's literally like that. And the moment you start losing people, and I always say that it's all perspective, how you tell people, who you tell people that you are, it's literally who you are. And, anything that you present out there, it's none of our business. I need to see Gifilo presenting herself as this businesswoman, business coach, leadership coach. Anything outside of that, I'm not interested in, because this is how you're presenting yourself to us. And literally, that's literally how I know you, because you've literally presented yourself very clear, very thorough, straight to the point.
Thank you so much. I don't think like that always. I always feel like people are not sure what is it that you do. People are not sure, But
no, I doubt that. If anybody doesn't know what you do, they're just being ignorant, plain simple.
No, thank you so much. And then so this brand management that you do is what then you'll translate into the digital magazine to say, okay, this is this woman who's under our brand. I love that's very different and unique, right? So what are the kinds of women that you would feature on the magazine?
Literally women who need a space to be, and they need their voices to be heard. There's so many talented women in this industry, but because there's a certain agenda being pushed about certain women, especially in the creative space, you don't get to hear about those women. So these are the women that I'm putting on my platform. We all just need a platform to rise. We all need a platform for somebody to just look at us and say, oh, she is a woman of Eleve. And because of the management, now I have the ability and authority to give my artists who are women a platform without going out there to search for a platform.
Yeah.
They already have a platform in-house.
Yeah.
So that was literally the entire idea. Like women who are in business, women who are in politics, women who are the corporate girlies, as they say.
The corporate baddies.
The corporate baddies, the creative woman, the woman who has a podcast, the woman who is in business. So those are the women that I'm going to be profiling on the magazine. And we're launching this month.
Yes, I'm going to be the first one. Please send it to me. I'll read it and I'll leave a review to my little 200 followers. They
count.
They do.
They count, okay?
They do, absolutely. And what would you say led you to being, because there's a lot that we're going to talk about, but what led you to being passionate and wanting to serve women specifically?
Beyond me being a fabulous woman,
Yes.
is the fact that you come literally I've been in spaces, a lot of spaces, where there's such beautiful, cool women that have such strong voices and that can tell their stories, but you look around, there are no platforms for these women, and they don't find themselves very comfortable in going to other platforms, but their work is so important that we just need to get it out there. So from literally a very young age, I've always been around women, and women are literally like my anchor. Like I see all women, single mothers, married women, any kind of women that are hustling, women that are aspiring to be. Like, I resonate with each and every woman. You know how they say that, like, you should walk a mile in my shoes so that you can understand?
Yeah.
But even though I haven't walked some of these women's stories, I just understand. And I sit back and I say, oh my God, I wish we could talk to everybody. And like, I get to spaces and I have a conversation with someone and I'm like, I wish everybody can hear this.
Yeah.
And I wish everybody knew, about you and what you do.
Yeah.
So it stems from that place of just wanting, women's voices to be elevated and to be heard across the globe. And I guess that's what I'm doing with this platform. Just, I know a lot of people say that the woman content is overrated, but trust me, it's not. We're only just getting started.
Right? Because I can tell you, I've seen in the entrepreneurship space, there's so many amazing entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things, but just because they don't have a social media page or they are not, we don't know about them. And I'm like,
absolutely.
I recently went to Bombela and there was a guest house that I was at. It's owned by Mom Carol.
Wow.
Big guest house that
Who
she built.
Who is the woman behind this?
And I'm like, these are people that Mom Carol doesn't have social media.
Exactly.
Mom Carol has never been featured on any magazine.
Exactly.
Mom Carol is not on TV.
But she's built such a reputable business.
Does that make sense? So I absolutely love the angle that you are taking with this. And I want to ask, right, who is your favorite woman? Who's the woman that you look up to?
How dare you?
I hope I'm not going to cause trouble
How
or
dare
problems
you?
with other women that would have loved to be mentioned, but...
That is such a difficult question.
I can imagine. Who's the woman and why?
Okay.
I'm sipping tea for that one.
There's so many, by the way,
imagine.
There's so many women that have played such a huge role in my life. I can think of, I had the privilege of knowing my great grandmother and my grandmother, may their souls rest in peace. And they've kind of shaped me into, I know I'm kind of deflecting a little bit.
I can see. Maybe you're saying your grandmother is the one that you look up to. I'm waiting to listen to that.
I'm trying to be very, okay, you know what? And my mother, my aunts, all those women have played a huge role. But I think someone that I really, really do look up to in terms of business, in terms of just their career.
Yeah.
I think what I'm specifically speaking about is career-wise. I think somebody that has had like a huge impact on me is Bonang. Yeah.
And I think now that you mention it, you have that je ne sais quoi that is in line with how she is as well.
Stop! That is such a compliment.
You have that
my
aura
heart.
that gives that.
Yeah, but like only because I've recently gotten back into radio, but the goal was to be a radio and TV presenter, right? But even though like what I studied is kind of more behind the scenes, like your cinematography, videography, that's where I wanted to be. But because I found my voice in, me becoming the woman that I am today, I've kind of also found my voice in who she is. Only career-wise, business-wise, I don't know her personal life, but when it comes to career, when it comes to business, that woman does not play about her money. She does not play about her talent, her skill.
Yeah.
And I think all women from all walks of life, we should kind of get that work ethic that she has. And yeah, man, she just inspires me, like in terms of her work ethic, how she kind of merged her business and her personal brand.
Right? I think that's a winner. If one
That's
can
a
get
win.
to that point.
That's a win. If people can see your academy and see you, and they can see you and see your academy,
They see one thing,
they
like,
see
where
one
are
thing
we
and they're
now?
like, oh, okay, cool. This is Kifile,
Yes.
This is Nolo. I think she's done such a brilliant job. And that's literally what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want the magazine and the management to have a little bit of Nolo life in it, so that when you see those products that I've put out, you automatically think about me.
That's also very powerful, because one of my mentors was saying something similar, or exactly what you were saying in just different words, where he's saying it's so important, and you become such a powerful entrepreneur if who you are can become deeply the work that you do.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes in the world, people fight with, no, separate your work from your life. It must be...
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Unless you one of those people that really doesn't care about your business.
A job is a job for you.
A job is a job for you. Like, that typical 9 to 5, I get home, take off my shoes, and that's it. If I'm going to hang out with whoever I'm hanging out, like, I don't have to kind of represent the work that I do. I completely disagree with that. Maybe it's because we are in business. But 24/7, I have to be Nolo and Foundation Eleve. Literally, like, that's who I am. Like, when you see me, you have to see these 3 pillars. You have to see my foundation, you have to see the magazine, and you have to see the management. So people who say, no, separate your work, no.
Because if you separated... Also, how you come across to your clients. I mean, you're managing people. If they're calling you at 11 or 12 and there's a crisis and you don't care, you're like, I've knocked off. Or when you need to think above and beyond for your clients, and you're like, this is where I draw the line. But if the work deeply connects with you,
you carry it.
24 hours is just, you don't see the separation, and
it's
you don't
who
see
you
it.
are.
It's still going to be hard work, but at least it's nice work that really connects.
Yeah, and I mean, there are boundaries. Like, there are days where you'll tell yourself, okay, cool. Today, I think there is enough work that I've done. Let me just focus on me being me. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I've forgotten about the things that I live for. So I generally don't separate my personal life from work, because every day is work. When I meet you, that's work. whoever I
care.
meet,
Yeah.
it's work.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I think when you care,
you
even
have
the
to
kind
have
of,
a
even
certain
the kind
care.
of business that you
True.
start will ultimately show the true you.
Absolutely.
Does that
I
make
agree
sense?
with that.
And you mentioned that you have a foundation, the end foundation. Then what does the foundation do?
So obviously, like everything that I'm doing is just the extension of In Foundation. I come from a very big family of people who love people, and sometimes you are exposed to things that people should not be going through. Like some things are just, you cannot fathom because you're like, how is it possible that this beautiful child doesn't have shoes to go to school, or they don't have, or this beautiful young lady doesn't have sanitary pads? Like all of that doesn't make sense to me. And I've built a foundation where it's my entire family's foundation, and we just literally help. We are extending the work that my grandmother used to do at church. So it's more of our way of giving back and making sure that as humanity, we live in good circumstances. Like I really wish that we were in a world where everyone can have like just this past winter, it was so horrible. And when you're driving down the street, you see people sleeping under the bridge. Like that's not okay. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just the work that we are just extending my grandmother's love for people and who we are as a family, and just giving back the little that we have. Yeah.
And, you know, do you ever get hit against the wall to say, I can't change and make this world a better place for everyone?
Hell no. I can always make this world a better place. I don't care what I'm doing. You can make someone's day, Kifile. Like, it doesn't have to be obviously the globe, but like whatever little change that you can bring to someone, that's like 100% change in everybody's life, because me changing your life means you're going to change someone's life and they'll change someone's life. So it's literally just a cycle of doing good. And I believe in when you put good out there, good will return. Right? And it does not necessarily have to return for me. It can return for everybody that was touched by that certain thing. So it's never overwhelming. It's never that sort of thing. If I'm having a bad day, you damn right know for sure that my bad day is not going to affect everybody else's bad day. And that's
I'm always
literally
thinking,
life.
there's so many homeless people. I can never fix homelessness. You get what I'm saying? So it's nice how you rephrase it to say it's just one small thing that you can do. True. And then maybe even emphasizing that if somebody has done it for you, go pass it to the next person.
True. I'm never too busy to say hi to anybody. I'm never too busy to be like, hey, do you need help? You know?
Yeah.
I'm always like, hey, so what can we do? Like texting and trying to find out. So
so I want us to get to something very exciting. You know, I was very excited when I saw the news.
I love exciting stuff.
So you're a model. As well, right? And I think, I don't know, maybe...
Oh, used to.
But it's still in you. It's still in you, right? It can come out anytime.
Absolutely.
That's the great thing about talent, is that just because you're not doing it now, doesn't mean you are not it anymore. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, maybe for me, this might have been, the highlight that I know about you from the work that you do, that you were part of the Miss SA top finals, 25.
Sounds so fancy when you say it.
Yes, Miss SA. Was it top 24 or top 25?
Top 25.
Top 25 in 2024.
Yeah.
I can't believe time.
It was literally last year.
So I've known you for like 2 years now.
It was literally last year. Like,
what year are we in?
We're in 2025 now.
Why am I in 2026?
Girl, we are moving. But then if you think about it, we're in August. So already like
the year's gone, right?
The year's gone.
Was that the biggest highlight of your career, would you say?
Absolutely. And I think I always tell young ladies that I speak to whenever I'm doing like a school tour or anything, that if you are in the line of modeling, pageantry or just being a creative woman and want to get a platform. Miss South Africa is the platform for that. And when I went to Miss South Africa, obviously we all have like that little wishy little thing that like, I hope I win.
Yeah. Why are you entering in the first place if
I
you
hope
don't
I
believe
become
that
the
you
next
can?
Miss South Africa.
Yeah.
But for me, I went there wanting a platform. The minute you have a platform to voice out whatever message that you have, like it gets you into a relevant audience, the relevant people. And that's literally what it did for me.
Yeah.
It gave me a platform and it gave me an audience that, hey man, I want to change some people's lives. And ever since then, there's some people that I've reached out for in foundation that I've been working with. Absolutely amazing women. And that would have not happened have I been on that credible stage, because Miss South Africa is like the pinnacle, the height of any model's career.
Yeah.
So that was really amazing, even though I got eliminated.
But you were in there.
But I was in there. I got to learn so much about discipline.
Okay.
I got to learn so much about time management. I got to learn so much about just existing within a group of 30 incredible, powerful women that have their own voices, that have their own opinions. And it's so hard being like your own person, right? When you meet those kind of people and you're in that kind of environment, because you think,
that one looks like this.
Yeah, that one looks like this. You kind of start judging yourself. Like you start putting yourself in a little box and you say, am I good enough to be here? But it taught me just to be myself in everything that I need to do and be. And I think it's the reason why I'm still even standing and trying to venture into the business world.
It seems to me like I had friends growing up in school that were, and I think you would know this lady that I'm also, I think she was in the top, was she in the top 25 with you? But I think she also got eliminated. Was it the same year as you? Or she was in the top, before the top 25, it's the top.
Yeah, it's top 30.
Yes, her name is Lesigo.
Okay.
She's Lesigo Satire, but now she's Monare.
Oh,
she was also, I think she was in the first batch that applied and their videos were playing and all of that. And growing up, she was a model. She used to say, this space is so cruel and competitive and the people are mean, the women are mean. Has that been your experience as a model? Are other women mean to other women?
It depends how you see it.
Okay.
I don't go into any environment with negative thoughts. People will be quite... I had some, what can I call it? Interactions here and there.
Like I'll slap you now.
That were not pleasant. That were not pleasant. But because of the type of person that I am, it's easier for me to diffuse any situation that needs, when something is about to get out of hand.
Yeah.
When some...
Yes, yeah.
And you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
And, you kind of like in a very subtle, cutesy, woman-like way and be like, let's not let it get any further. But I will say a lot on who you are as a person. You don't need to add to the commotion as a woman. You don't need to add to the hearsay. You don't need to add to the gossip. You don't need to add to the mean energy. You can just radiate beauty. And that's literally what I did. Like, even when things were not going my way and I had like little interactions here and there that would have kind of made me call out someone, I didn't do that. I chose to just be myself. And that's very important. But other people's attitudes and behaviors should not be a hurdle or for you to just not want to pursue your dreams because of mean people. There's mean people all around the world, in every industry, in every job. You will find mean people. It's just how you approach the situation, I think. Yeah.
But I can imagine it's a very competitive space.
Very
so
competitive.
How do you stay afloat? How do you keep going? And maybe what has been one of the most hardest parts of being part of the competition?
I think for me was being away from my family and having early mornings. I'm mostly like just a person who likes to wake up maybe at 6. But our schedule was because we need to shoot. And you know what made it hard for me? Because my surname, then started with a B. So I'm literally one of the first people that needs to wake up.
Sure.
So the call sheet literally had my name first. And I was like, here we go again. So for me, that was literally like the hardest thing. Waking up, shooting. And you have to wake up with energy, with oomph, and being away from my family. And I think how I overcame that was literally just to tell myself, we have a bigger platform here.
Yeah.
And it's either like you do it now or you don't do it ever. Like it's now or never. Like give it your all. And I think when I started cracking.
I thought you were going to say when I started taking crack. When you started cracking.
When I started cracking, when the cracks were showing.
Yeah.
Because the early mornings are so early. You know, my voice is very sensitive. Started losing my voice, couldn't perform at like my highest of abilities. And I was just so down, man. Also being away from people that you absolutely love. I mean, we did have access to our phones, but like it's only that much, you know.
So where did you go? Did you leave Joburg? Where did you...
No,
you were staying in
we're still in Joburg in the Miss South Africa house, as we call it. But
you're not allowed
it's
to go
secluded.
out.
We're not allowed to go out. Basically, we're just in the hotel room, and like we have everything we need, right? So that
it's
you
like
can focus on it's like
house.
mostly like
Okay.
it's like that. So it's like just you having fun with 30 of your girlfriends in a beautiful space, and thank God it was not a house, so we were able to see other people. And when we need to drive to a certain venue, they would drive us out there, would have lunches out there. So it was quite nice. It was a beautiful experience. I wish anybody could experience that, man. Yeah.
What could you have done different?
Everything, Kifile, everything. How I showed up. I remember my mom told me that, hey, that short hair is not working. And now when I look back, I'm like, she's right. It was not working. Everything was not working. The only thing that I could attest to was just that I stayed 100% true to myself, and things that I did not want to do, I did not do. And thank God it's an environment where you can say, no, I'm comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable doing that. But I wish I prepared.
Okay.
I feel like right now, if I would go back into Miss South Africa, I'll probably nail it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the main reason why former Miss South Africa, Natasha, went back, is because she had that experience. Like, I feel like you need like a little
experience.
A little
all the
experience.
difference.
Yeah, it makes all the difference.
In everything.
Like, literally, right now, when I look at myself on that screen, I'm like, no.
Highball.
That is not who I am.
But because my first business also went south. A couple of other businesses that I tried went south. And I was saying, I remember saying to my husband, if I were to start that business again, it would flourish now. Because I'm like, I know what to do. I know
what to expect now. Like, it's literally just, guys, experience is the best teacher.
Yeah. So in the same line of thought, then for people... Because not making it being eliminated, people would see it as you were being rejected or you failed, right? And what would you say to people out there who have tried certain things, they failed? I don't like to use the word rejection, but just for a simpler term that people can understand what we are trying to say, that you tried something and it didn't go out exactly the way you would have wanted, right? What would you say to them that you faced something like this?
Listen, I think in all the 27 years that I've been on earth, try, fail, and try again. Like, don't give up just because that one idea is not working. Eleve Management was low-key brand agency before it was Eleve Management. And, there were days where I was like, I'm so done. I can't do this anymore. It's not who I am. And those thoughts are going to creep up on you. And those things are just literally going to be daring and glaring at you each and every day and saying, oh, you said you're going to do this. Are you sure you can?
Yeah.
You just have to do it. Like, literally the words that I said when I got here, I'm so proud of you because you've done it, you know? And what people don't know is behind you having done it is the struggle, the everyday talking to yourself. Do I need to do this?
Yeah.
Is this worth it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth it. And time is our greatest teacher, man.
Yeah.
And as you fail, as you get up, you learn more, and that makes you a better person into your next mission, into your next adventure, whatever that you want to do. And the thing about business, what I've learned as a woman in business is that because as women, we're such perfectionists, you know, sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't treat business as if like it's your child or like it's your husband, your marriage or anything. You need to treat it as your job. You know, there are no day offs. Like you need to show up with the best attitude and at the best of your ability. Like, yes, there are days that are going to be very hard, but are you going to stay in bed and be like, oh, Nolo?
Until when are you going to stay in bed?
Until when are you going to stay in bed? So we need to start treating our businesses and any adventure that you get into like that job that you respect and
like
that boss that you respect.
Yeah,
you know, you are your,
that's
even though
powerful.
you are on your own boss, respect yourself.
Nolo, you are talking to me. You are hitting me. You could have just called me to the side and told me that to my face. Because I'll tell you, a couple of days ago, I was feeling very tired. You know, like the past couple of weeks, I've been having late nights, early mornings, the traveling that I've been doing. I teach and I train and I coach. So my schedule every day is filled with me talking. From one call to the next, I'm talking. And remember, I'm coaching and training other entrepreneurs and that energy comes on to me. And obviously, I still have to go think about what I'm going to do to move this person forward. And the other day, I had to deliver a training. Right. And in the morning, I woke up. It was 10 o'clock. The class had to start. I opened the session. The learners were in. And I was asking the learners the questions. And, okay, let's check. How was your previous class now that we're going to now move into this class? Nobody was talking. The learners were quiet. So normally when they're quiet, I know how to prompt them to and I get them to open up. That day, I felt like, you know what? Not today. I said, guys, if none of you want to talk, I'm closing this class. We'll come back on Thursday when you are ready, you know? And then a couple of days after, my husband called me out and he said, you didn't respect your job. You didn't respect your learners.
Sure.
You know, and I'm saying this to show you that maybe I'm showing up on socials and people think
you've got it
businesswoman
every day.
Every day you've got it and you're doing your things right. You've got this brilliant academy, this brilliant business. You're working with such big clients. But my husband said, if it was you providing it, because I provide a savers to other big companies for training. So it's not only my students, but I have students of other clients.
Yeah.
It's like, but if it was maybe, for example, Gibbs or a big company and you had their learners, you were not going to say, I'm closing, I'm not going to deliver this training. And then, so oftentimes we respect when something belongs to another person. If they say come in at 8 o'clock, you come in at 8 o'clock. If they say something is due on Tuesday, it's done. But when it's us.
But when it's your own thing, you don't even care to, like, you know, show up. You know, you're just doing it as if it's just another thing. So respecting your work, respecting your business, respecting the people that you work with goes a long way. Yeah.
Like, you are your own boss. Be accountable to yourself. No, I think I needed to get that out of the chest, and I think it's for others as well.
Yeah,
I think
be accountable to yourself.
Yeah, it will happen.
At the end of the day, it needs to be like this. You're talking to yourself. So how dare you show up at 10 o'clock when we're supposed to have a meeting at 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Is this not your business?
Yeah.
Get up. Like, show up for yourself. There's so many things that you show up for in life.
Yeah.
But when it comes to you, yourself, and your business and the things that you're doing, you don't want to show up.
Yeah.
Why? Don't let people manipulate you into thinking that you cannot show up for yourself and you cannot be proud about that.
Yeah.
When you say, I'm done here because I have my students to get to, or I have my business to get to, even if it's not bringing you anything at that time, show up and be committed to it.
Yeah. And then you're right, because sometimes we don't do things because we don't see the monetary value. I think as humans, we attach our success and what we choose to do and not do based on, is it going to make me money?
No. Rome was not built in a day. And we don't all, make that 1 million turnover.
Yes.
In a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that is the goal. And once your goals are very clear, and once you know what you want and what to do, you will literally start taking everything as it is, and you'll respect it as it is. So that's literally my 2 cents for anybody that thinks they want to give up. You can't give up. Not now. Like, what's supposed to happen if you give up? I like saying to people that they should bully me into going to gym. Like, some of the things that I hear, like people will be like, okay, so who's going to have that flat stomach if you're sitting there?
And I think, I think from this conversation, we are even speaking to you. We are saying to people, do it. Get up and do it.
Get up and do
so
it.
Nolo, get up and go to the gym.
Yeah.
I like how certain conversations, even if we are trying to inspire the next person, it's also about us.
It's about us.
Like this conversation
right
is speaking to...
Oh, damn, I'm speaking to myself.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me get up.
Yeah. And that's the purpose of this podcast. For somebody to hear that, Gifilo still has the same experience as me. Nolo still experiences the same things as me. So it's
But
human.
at the same time, we give ourselves grace.
Absolutely.
It's human, like you say. Let's give ourselves... Not that we're all saying, like, punch yourself till you die and you have nothing left anymore. Give yourself grace and...
Yeah. And we don't give ourselves grace because we're living in a hustle world. Like, we must always be on. We must always be working. We must always be achieving something. We must always be on to the next thing. Somehow, if you are not, they say you are lazy, you don't work hard enough.
True.
So we always have these things that I must always...
True. You know what I do? I journal. It helps me a lot to just have a gratitude moment and just reflect. Like this day, today, I'm going to reflect about it. I'm probably going to be asking myself, should I have said that to Kifile? Should I have not said
the
that?
overthinking.
Yeah, but it keeps you accountable and it keeps you in check with what you're doing, which makes you a great person. And at the end of the day, you look at that and you're like, oh, well, I can't give up now.
Yeah. We don't reflect a lot.
We don't
reflect a lot. We are on autopilot. And because we don't reflect on our own autopilot, we don't improve. We don't see things that we need to change. And I just want to check how then part of, yes, you're building this amazing business, you're on radio, you're a media personality, you're doing amazing things. How are you then balancing it with your own personal life? How are you keeping yourself well? Yes, you just mentioned you're journaling. How are you keeping yourself well? I mean, you are married. How are you still maintaining your marriage with all the hustling and the busyness? I know you're trying to get to the gym. It's not working out the way it should. But when we talk about work-life balance, your well-being, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't have that. It's a foreign word to them. And I was very intentional this year about relaxing. If I'm saying I'm knocking off, I'm knocking off. If I'm saying I'm taking a day off, my business is not going to die.
Yeah.
I always say to my husband, and he laughs, I'm like, it's not like I'm going to make $1 million today.
Yeah.
Let me go sleep.
Yeah, true.
So how are you then maintaining that work-life balance? Newly married?
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm trying, Lord. All you can do is try, okay?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, things are not going to be perfect. But one thing that I do, being married, having my own career and doing my own thing, is that my time is my time.
Yeah.
My husband's time is my husband's time. Thank God we kind of do similar things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, even when we're doing work, like we can have like a little nice date where we like
working
work.
from.
So like the balance for me is not off there. But one thing that I'm still trying to get a balance of is having a business. Like, that's literally what I'm trying to balance right now. But it's going well, man. I know my goal. I know what I'm trying to do. And at the end of the day, if I am overworking myself or even getting to push myself to the limit, I'm going to suffer.
Yeah.
And I'm a person who doesn't like suffer. Girl, suffering.
You must just look cute. Can your husband make you a housewife?
I do not like suffering. And I know when enough is enough. So I always say to myself, if I'm going to work 5 hours today, I'm going to work 5 hours and then I'll resume tomorrow. Because there's some things that you don't have to finish today. Yeah. You can just be like, okay, cool. I'm going to work on this for the next 30 minutes. So just pace yourself.
Okay.
Stay in your lane. Do things that make you happy. That's literally how you keep your balance. Because most of the time, marriage doesn't really feel like marriage because I'm still with my friend. Work doesn't really feel like work because I'm doing what I love. Yeah. So that's literally how I keep the balance, doing things that I love. And you'll see once you are out of balance and out of focus with everything, that's when you know you should reel it in and keep your priorities straight and see, okay, cool. Now what can we do? Thank God I don't have children because, girl, how would I balance that?
I'm always thinking, I'm like, the way I love my sleep, if I had children, how you need to wake them up at 5, take them to school, and then go to the office, and then so to
that's
those
why I say God is a God of now timing. He knows what you need right now, and He knows the things that you're doing. So by the time you probably have kids or I have kids, we're probably gone 5 years into being, female founders and having that solid structure so that when you're not there, things don't crumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And in terms of business entrepreneurship, what is the one thing, if this was to be the last thing that you say to anybody about your business career, what would you say to them? What would you want them to know?
Stick to what you know.
Okay.
Stick to what you know. Stick in your lane. There is a time for everything. There's a season for everything. And once you've figured that out, just stick to it. Stick to it, go by it. And that's literally what I'm learning right now. Even though I changed the brand management company name to so many things before, I still stuck to the mission, with the essence of what it achieve. I still stuck to what I know it can do and what I know personally, right? There's so much fun in obviously trying to be adventurous, trying to get out there and try new things, but there's also so much peace and so much you can do with what you know. Being anchored. So stay in your lane, do your thing, and listen, it works out.
That's so powerful. I think our experiences, we speaking from the same language, because I remember I had a lady speak to me when I was telling her about the business that I do, because obviously I'm in the education and skills development space. And I said, I think I want to do this. This is how I want to do it. And she said, Kifilwe, your mission is to educate and upskill as many people as possible. How you do it, it's not a problem.
Absolutely.
If educating somebody, you can do it through a phone call, the mission of what you're doing is done. Whether you name it this,
absolutely,
whether you're running it from an office or from home, whether the mission is, did you educate someone? Did you upskill someone today? So I think what you're saying by saying be anchored, do what you do, what you are good at, right?
Absolutely.
And what excites you about the near future, both for your personal life and for your professional life as we head out to finish?
Traveling, and just growth and more growth. And I think with the magazine and the management and the End Foundation, that's literally what I'm going to be doing. Traveling, going out there, learning more about other women's stories, because essentially we're not trying to tell South African women's stories only. We're trying to get the global woman voice into Eleve. So I'm excited to be traveling. I'm excited to be getting to know other women outside of my own country and outside of what I'm normally used to. I'm excited about, just growing as a businesswoman, as a female founder, and more money. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about money.
More money. Why wasn't anywhere mentioned about you're excited about your husband? Anything with your husband?
Oh, it's always exciting. Every day is exciting. Every day I'm a different person.
Yeah.
Underneath this is a blonde lady.
Yes.
So it's always very exciting. What else am I excited about? Oh, having kids with him. I'm
Yes.
excited about that. Yeah.
When the time is right.
When the time is right.
And now that you're a very emotional and bubbly person, and I'm exaggerating this a little bit because we need to cut out, but I have to get into this last part of the segment. People seeing you as the bubbly person. I know that there is a part of you, something that you've gone through, right? And obviously I sneaked in and I spoke to your husband and I said, I want you to tell me something about Nolo that she wouldn't otherwise tell us. And she says
nobody told me about this.
Yeah, no. And I said, you know what? I'm going to ask her this. And I'm doing it in closing because if I was going to do it in the beginning, there was going maybe to be tears here.
You have tissues?
You told us already that you are a crier. But she said that you have been kidnapped before, right? Can you take us through how that was like and how did you move past it?
Okay. I think it's also kind of the reason why I do the work that I do and love people so much, because I don't think your freedom should be taken away for any other reason. What I went through was just so devastating, man. And thank God at the time, nothing happened to me. Like all they did was just rough me up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was nothing like sexual or drug me or any of that thing. But just being taken out of my comfort space and like my parents looking all over the country for me, I think that was like the devastating part for me. Man, it's just so draining to talk about it, but it was for trafficking reasons, even though I don't know what they would have done with me till this day, but that ordeal was just so dark. It was so dark. I think I spent like 3 months in a mental health clinic.
Yeah.
And not because there was something wrong with me, but just because anytime someone was like behind me or like they were just like, excuse me, I'd like freak out about it.
Yes.
So
you had to work through that.
It took my time. First of all, it took a lot from me, man. It took my smile, it took my little bubbly personality, and it helped me not to be naive anymore.
Oh, yes. Because I was going to ask, what then did you learn from
but I think if that did not happen, I would have probably not met Joe as well. I would have probably not done any of the stuff because it forced me to get out of school, I was last year varsity at the time, just to go do my own thing. And while doing my own thing, this man sees and he's like, oh, cool, she's cute.
I want to marry her.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So some things I just... Yeah.
So it's always like something bad can happen. We will see it as bad. But when you look back a couple of years, you're like, actually.
Yeah. But dark years, I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody should, any woman in South Africa should never be able to go through that. Like, even when like, we were going through like a femicide in South Africa, that was very triggering to me because
it could have been you.
It could have been me. And thank God I made it alive. So many women don't have those stories today where they can comfortably and confidently sit and say, I made it out alive. Yeah. So I'm very grateful that I get to sit here today and smile.
Yeah.
And cheer.
I'm happy that you are here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I've got a nice message that I would like to play, right? And I didn't even listen to the message. From? So I didn't listen to the message. I don't know what it's gonna say.
Hey, baby. I just wanted to take this moment to say how incredibly proud I am of you. Watching your resilience, the way that you carry yourself through literally everything that life has thrown at you. It inspires me every single day. I've loved witnessing your growth, not just as a woman, but really also as a partner, a dreamer, and someone who just constantly pushes herself and the people around her. You're such an important part of my life. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful to be able to walk this journey with you.
I could see the eyes are starting to get brown.
Why?
I just wanted him to give you a nice little message, because sometimes we live with our husbands and our friends and we forget to say, actually, this is how I feel about you, because you live with someone and you think they know, right? Sometimes it's just important to have that voice.
That is so cute.
Saying, this is how I feel, this is what I think about you.
So cute. Thank you.
There's the crier coming out. Nolo?
I don't know. It's just like so nice.
Yeah.
Like it's quite nice to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I cry a lot to this man every day, so I don't even know
why are you
why he would agree to this. Because he knew I was gonna do this. He knew,
right? He knew, right?
But it's quite lovely, man.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love my husband to bits. Like he's just such an amazing human being. Like he's a nice person, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nolo?
Thank you. Why are you ending this on a
I know, right? I wanted it to end on any final words that you would like to say
Any final words?
Anybody watching this, and do you maybe also have a question for me, and then we can say our goodbyes.
Okay, cool. Any final words? Don't cry.
Don't crack.
Don't crack under pressure. But any final words to, I think my heart is to female founders. If you are a female founder out there, doesn't matter how small your product is, doesn't matter how small your business is, keep going. And you know how they say that time is the best teacher, and I always say this, time is the best teacher. So even if the prototype that you have right now does not work, it could work in other ways. And don't do anything and everything on your own. Rely on people, have people that assist you. It takes a village to raise any kind of child, any kind of business, any sort of thing that you're starting. So don't rely mainly on yourself. Even though people are not trustworthy, just trust that God will bring the right people to you, and you are doing the right thing. And I'm so proud of you.
Sure.
I'm so proud of you, female founder.
Thank you. Any questions for me in ending?
Yeah. Well, since I'm a radio broadcaster, let's get into this.
Yes.
All right? Kifile, as a female founder, is there anything that you found challenging along the way? And what advice do you have for female founders out there?
Sure, good question. One thing that I found very challenging in my journey as a business owner, entrepreneur, is having to work with people. I'm like you were just saying that it takes a village, right? And I've had to step out of I can do everything by myself and having to bring people, invite people into what I'm building. So it's been super difficult. I haven't found the formula to get maybe the right people that can fit into the vision that I'm trying to build. You know, and I think another thing is you're so used to leading yourself when you're working with other people. Now you have to lead other people, and then different personalities come into play. We are all different, how we were raised, how we think, how we do things. So having to learn how to merge other people and myself, what I'm trying to build, has truly been very, very challenging. I don't want to lie. And I'm a very fast-paced person.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't find people that can keep up with my pace, and I don't blame them, you know, but sometimes I have to be honest and say, this is the kind of person that I am.
Yeah.
I can't change myself. So having to find a common ground with anybody that I'd bring into my team or somebody who's assisting me with something has been very, very challenging. And sometimes with how I do things, thinking other people should do things how I do them. So now sometimes I find that I'm not allowing other people to be and do what they know and how to, because I'm thinking it has to be in a particular way because it's in my head, it's my vision. So I'm learning to let go.
I love that.
I'm learning to let go and say, I brought this person into my team. I'm trusting them. They know their job, and let me do my job. Yeah.
I love that.
That's what I could say. So learn to trust. That's what I would say. Learn to trust and always think I'm connecting two personalities. There's no right, there's no wrong.
Absolutely.
How do we connect our personalities to actually bring then the vision to life?
Absolutely.
Thank
I love
you.
that.
Yes,
I
we've
love that.
come. Thank you so much for that brilliant question as well. We have come to the end of the show, but I am not going to finish it off. She's a radio broadcaster, so I'm giving her the closing. Can you close the podcast for us? Tell people where they should subscribe, what the key takeaways was. Close it for us with that broadcasting.
I'm not in office today, but we're just going to try this. Oh, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. My name is Nolo Nawaya. And of course, our beautiful host, Kifile. It's been beautiful conversation. And I hope that you like, comment, subscribe, and tell us all the things that you want to tell us about female founders, the do's and the don'ts. Sometimes we are still the newbies, and you could be in 10 years of being a female founder. So other female founders probably need to hear that. And from us, it's been a wrap.
It's been a wrap. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Yay!